Good morning, y'all. It's Brian today down at Hollis Farms. Got away this afternoon. Came down, got the batwing bush hog going on the 7210. Try to get a little grass cut. Got a couple of food plots. Probably later this in the fall, we're gonna plant with some Buckbuster seed blend. And thought I'd go ahead and mow now, and then probably got a lot of rain called for next week. So we can get ahead of that while we get the tractor in here. And then I'm gonna we'll probably have to cut them one more time in the fall before we either spray them or burn them and then plant. So anyway, get this little bit done. I'm headed around here now toward that first duck hole y'all saw us tear the dam down with the backhoe. We'll check on that millet. It's been planted, shoot, I think a couple of months now. This stuff ought to be knee high, so we'll get down here to that hole. I'll show you. All right, y'all, this is the duck hole. If y'all remember, this is the first dam. We dug this one out right here with the backhoe earlier in the year, and it's really kind of hard to see. I'll show you from the other side too, though. But all this out here in these flats out here and on the left side of that ditch there, let's see if I can see, all out through those gaps in the trees right there. That green grass looking stuff, that's the millet. That stuff is almost knee high. You can see it real good right there on the edge of the water. You know, planted out into the water. Actually, some of it because the water has probably dropped 6 inches since I planted. So looks like we're gonna have a real good stand. The millet even goes back into here. I think you can see some of it right through that gap right there. Need to really fly it with the drone one day, but there's another spot over here on the backside. I'll look when I go back around there mowing. I'll look back in there, but it looks like we got a real good stand to millet. We're gonna get in here and probably put a pipe in this dam just like we did the other one, so we won't have to dig it out every year. We've also got plans to put a permanent little elevated blind, kind of a skid blind out in the middle of that hole. If y'all remember one of the other videos that showed you was a cypress tree out there. So I'm planning on hopefully doing that while it's good and dry. We can get out there and work. It'll be a good summer hot weather project. We'll have to get that done before long. So, all right, we'll get back on the tractor, get around, we're gonna mow the roads back around to these food plots. And I'll get to the food plots, I'll show you those plots. And also gonna check on the sawtooth oaks. One of these plots is some of the sawtooths I've shown you in the past that we planted probably almost 30 years ago. Maybe over 30 years ago. We'll check them out, see if they're gonna put on this year. All right, y'all, came back around the north side of this hole. I'll show you here all these, if y'all remember, I've had the drone up when I was planting this, but all this flat over here and all this flat out here on that point out to that cypress tree right there is planted in millet. You can tell it's coming up real thick. I don't know if that darker green band just has a little more moisture or not, but that behind it is also millet. I planted all the way up close to the tree line there. Kind of the same right over here. The stuff that's closest to the water there's a little darker green, but it's all solid millet all the way back over here to that wood line too. Our thoughts are we were going to try to get in here right close to this cypress tree and build us a blind. We might end up having to build one that's on a skid or something and skid it out there. Going to get it right up under that cypress tree and tuck it in that way. And then right out here in the middle is where the ducks always try to get in. Sometimes they actually try to get in over here on this side. But anyway, it's looking good. The millet's coming on good. It's not a lot of it because this hole, like I said, it's deeper out here. You can't really plant this out here. It's drained about as much as you could drain it. If you see over there, the ditch is almost dried up. So even if we had cut the beaver dam down lower, unless we dug out that whole channel, we wouldn't drain any more than we did. But that's still manageable. So, anyway, it's looking good. We're gonna run around here now, keep cutting the road till I get around here to that food plot. We'll check the sawtooth oaks and see what that feels. All right, y'all, this is one of the small food plots we're gonna cut today. Try to cut it real low. I think we planted some buckbusters in there, maybe 2 years ago, and last year we might have just drilled some wheat in it. Doesn't appear to be a whole lot left in it. We'll end up bush hogging it twice, and then either burning it with fire or burn it down with chemicals before we plant. So anyway, we'll see if we can't get this cut right quick, run over here and get this other big plot. Y'all got that one done. A little small field there, you kind of turning in circles more than anything else, but got that knocked out. We'll cut our way on over here to another one, and if we can't get it done, then we'll cut our way back toward the barn. All right, y'all, this is the other food plot I was telling you about. I'm about to lose camera battery here, but I'll tell y'all, this is the plot I showed you before, these sawtooth oaks that got planted on the edge of this field. It's hard to see them right now and tell if they're gonna have acres. There's never been a year they didn't have acres. Yeah, I see a few buds on them. So these trees were planted about 91, 92, so over 30 years ago. I don't ever remember a year they didn't produce. Some better than others, but yeah, I see lots of buds on them. I'll stop in a minute and take some pictures of them if I have enough battery. Get this field cut right quick. All right, y'all, we got the big field done. You see here, this is kind of one of those four-way fields. We don't always plant all of it, but we'll keep it cut in case we do decide to plant more of it this year. So while I'm over here, I'm gonna stop and take a look at these sawtooth oaks and see if there's any. Should be plenty of acorn buds on there. Hold on, let me get out and I'll show y'all. All right, I'll show y'all here these buds coming up. It's still early. You see those little buds right there, the little acorns coming on the trees. Lots of little ones there. Got to kind of look close. See them right there. These are those acorns that kind of look like a gumball on a sweet gum tree. I think I can find any old ones from last year. They're all rotten and gone, but anyway, looks to be plenty of buds on them this time. Like I said earlier, they always have produced. I remember a lot of them right there. I remember like it was yesterday when we planted these trees. We actually planted these in a pine tree planted behind the tractor. I remember me and my dad did them. We had real good survival rate, and they've produced well over the years. So that's a good sign. We'll always have good bow hunting here. These sawtooth oaks tend to drop. Hopefully they don't drop too early. Sometimes they start dropping in early September and they're gone by bow season, but if we're lucky, they'll start dropping mid-September and hit it just right for early bow season. But we're gonna cut our way back to the barn, and we'll go, while I'm here, I'm gonna run over and check the soybeans and the sunflowers. So y'all hang on. All right, y'all, finished up the fields and a couple of roads. Still got a little bit more to do there. Probably hit that tomorrow, but come on around and check these sunflowers out. Today is, what's today? Tuesday. I was just here Saturday, and I was here a week ago yesterday. There was one sunflower out here that I saw bloomed, and they were about knee high. And now 8 days later, turn y'all around and show you what these things look like. Man, they're growing like crazy. Some of them are already head high, and I'm not kidding y'all. They were just knee high 8 days ago. So these things have grown 2 feet or so in a little over a week. But a lot of good looking flowers here. Let me turn around. Y'all look at that. Got flowers showing they blooming out all over. I'm gonna have to. Here we are almost into June, so we got all of July and into August before they completely mature and start to dry, we should be in really good shape by first weekend of September. But if y'all notice, let me get down here, eye level with them. I'm holding y'all about eye level right now. You can see some of those out there 5 feet tall, and that right there, that one's almost 6 foot tall already. Hadn't put on a flower, but well, they look good, and they got beans down in the middle of them. Those beans will be there producing for the ducks later on. Hadn't really seen a lot of sign of a lot of deer browse, so that's a good sign. Also, right here on this levee I showed you the other day, you can see about down there, Presley ran out of seed right down in there, but this whole, we planted this levee right here in Chihuahua millet. Same thing we did in the other duck cove, and you can tell it's coming up really thick. You can see down there where the farmer sprayed a little bit. He stopped right at the end of our levee there trying to stay off our stuff. So. Man, looks good. I got to bring the drone down here now. I got to get on these flowers really in a few more days. It's probably going to be hundreds more. I'll get the drone up and take a look. Go look around a little bit more. Be right back. All right, y'all, here's a little better view. Got up on the back of the truck. Give you a good idea of just how well these sunflowers have done across this whole area. You can see they stop right out there. You can see where the green changes colors. That's where the farmers' other beans start. So we've got a really good coverage on our sunflowers all the way around. They're really all starting to bloom now. Didn't plant this much last year, and then the deer got them. So maybe we're gonna miss the deer pressure this time and have a good stand. So it should be a great place for a good dove shoot. All right, y'all, that's all the video for today. Kind of boring. Some of that midsummer stuff. Gotta get out there and do what you can when you can. Bush hogging's kind of boring, but we don't cut those fields more than twice. We cut them now, and like I said earlier, probably cut them one more time in maybe late August, early September. Then either spray them or burn them, have them ready for the drill. Kind of like their guy, buddies over there at the Woodsman Perspective podcast. I don't know how many of y'all listen to podcasts, but these guys have got good friends of ours, Chris and Mitt and Brent over there. They kind of bring a real world, everyday look at wildlife and habitat management. They talk about a lot of the things we do on our farm. A lot of experience there. All the landowners and land managers and forestry, and I'm gonna encourage y'all, if you get a chance to listen to the podcast. They took a little time off for turkey season. Now they're back, but I'll get a hold of those guys and get a link to their podcast and put it in the description of this video. But it talks about a lot of the things you do in the summer, kind of making you a list of things to do. Is road work, field maintenance work, mineral sites, forestry, timber plans going on during the year, fixing your roads and all. So there's always something to do, and that's kind of what their podcast is focused on. Whether you got 50 acres or 5,000 acres, there's always something you can do to be improving your place for the deer and turkeys and everything else. So anyway, y'all check them out. Appreciate you watching today's video. A little bit slow, but that's what we're doing this time of year, so that's what we video. Don't forget to subscribe. Come back tomorrow. Check out our website, hollisfarms.com. Got some hats over here y'all might like. So check that out. Check out the boys over Woodsman Perspective, and come back tomorrow. Thank y'all.